Okay, session number 4. We've got the side covers are still on. That one's just on for protection. This side cover's off, but I need a special nut to get the flywheel off. It's a 30mm deep socket. So I'm going to have to go get one of those before we can pull those parts completely off. Got, all sorts of drives and gears for transmission, starter, etc. And then clutch side, I actually got that off. I just need to actually pull it off. I'm just keeping it on there to keep things clean right now. But I did get the piston rods out of there with the pistons. Bad news, this crankshaft is totally screwed. You can see on the left it's not horrible. It looks very grooved, but superficially it's not that bad. But on the right, that's horrible. I mean, you can probably hear that in the video, how bad that's grounding. This side's pretty smooth, but that's screwed other way. I might be able to get that machined. We'll see. That'll probably cost as much as just getting a replacement crankshaft. So we'll see about that. Here's the vertical piston and conrod. Everything looks pretty good here. The bearings are intact. However, they were destroyed. Most of that, I'm sure, is from when the other failed. But you can see the copper underneath the bab layer. The bab layer is totally gone. So the copper, you should not ever see that. And it's got some grooving in it because it was starting to wear on the actual crank pin. But all in all, it's intact. I can actually get part numbers off this one, so that's a good thing. There's the piston. Everything here is in pretty good shape. Shouldn't have any problems. The horizontal, however, well, here's the bearing, or at least what's left of it. Get this under a light. So it is completely shredded. It's very thin. Any more running, it would have just shredded into more and more pieces. It's incredibly brittle. Little bits of this are falling off as I touch it. Here's the other half. So obviously that's not good. The conrod, hard to say. It's got some grooving on the inside of the main bore here, and that may or may not be a problem. I'll have to have them spec'd out to see if the actual diameter changed at all. If it did, then the clearances will be different, dramatically enough so that we just have to get a new one. So we'll see about that. The gudgeon pins and bushings all seem fine on these. There was no top end oil starvation, so we should be okay there. Pistons seem fine, rings all seem fine. I'll probably just try to find a cheap set of rings no matter what, just because that's a good idea. But horizontal over there, vertical over there, don't want to get them mixed up. There's the alternator cover, the entire side cover there. Starter motor is up there somewhere. There's a starter motor back there. Everything's all labeled, bagged and tagged. And there's the motor. So when we get the rest of the tools, that socket and whatnot, we'll get this thing cracked apart, get everything fully disassembled, cleaned out, get that crankshaft out of there, because that's going to need to be replaced.